Hey everybody, stay tuned for the Chazman Show. We're going to talk things like Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, Zachary Levi and Captain Marvel, otherwise known as Shazam these days. Will Smith news with Suicide Squad. We're going to talk Lady Gaga, A Star is Born. So just roll the credits. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chazman Show. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share. Okay, now, before we get on to something, tomorrow is Friday. Actually, tomorrow is March the 1st as I tape this. This is the end of February, everybody. So tomorrow night at Summers, we're down in Arlington, Virginia. Me and a bunch of other comics are going to be there. The show starts at 8 o'clock, so I invite you to come on down. But anyhow, that's tomorrow night. But anyhow, before we get into a whole lot of stuff, thanks for watching. The subscriber list went up again last month, or this month I should say, so keep referring your friends, keep subscribing. If you've got a question for me, please go ahead and drop it into the comment box. Send me an email, do whatever you like, contact me in some way, and I'll try to get around to it. I'm trying to do more videos these days, but my goodness, there's bills to be paid, so sometimes I have to get out and do that work thing. Let's see, what else is going on? Okay, first off, I was watching Jimmy Kimmel the other night, and Lady Gaga was the guest, and she brought out her Oscar, and she made an announcement that people that love A Star is Born are going to love this, because starting tomorrow for 1 week only, you can go into your local theater, if it's playing there, of course, select theaters, I guess I should say, and see A Star is Born for 1 week only with an additional 12 minutes. So Bradley Cooper went ahead and put an additional 12 minutes back into A Star is Born. Almost lost my coffee there. To A Star is Born, so that's 1 week only. Lady Gaga said that last night on Jimmy Kimmel, or the night before last. But she brought her Oscar on, and it was quite cool. Jimmy Kimmel actually even had a pair of shorts to put on the Oscar, and she was like, no, let's not. Leave him naked, he's fine. And then she dispelled the rumors about her and Bradley Cooper being in love and so forth. I bet they really do love each other, because there's a friendship there. They worked together for 3 years on this movie. I don't know the actual shooting schedule, but I mean, as far as like from script to screen, 3 years in the making. So congratulations to them. Of course, Bradley Cooper doesn't get a writing credit for the Oscar that was won, but he did sing along with Lady Gaga, Shallow. And of course, the writers of that, along with Lady Gaga, they did win the Oscar for Best Song of the Year. So that was pretty doggone cool. I really liked that. And there's lots of parodies out there. I would direct you. There's a Star Wars parody of Shallow out there on YouTube somewhere. If I can remember, I'll attach a link to it. Okay, so that is enough for Lady Gaga. Again, tomorrow is March the 1st. So you could catch A Star is Born for 1 more week in the movie theaters with an additional 12 minutes. Okay, moving right along. According to Variety, last night I read an article that says that Will Smith is out of Suicide Squad 2 with James Gunn as the director. Now, the reason why it was stated was because of scheduling conflicts. You know what? Bob Iger from Disney fired James Gunn based on some tweets from 10-15 years ago that he probably wouldn't even known about, but James Gunn actually brought them up. Anyhow, Bob Iger from Disney fired him off of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They're still going to use his script, but he's out. They're going to find some new director to go ahead and do Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's just kind of postponed everything. But James Gunn is under the helming the Suicide Squad Redux, and we were all looking forward to the direction of him. Directing Will Smith along with Margot Robbie and whoever the other cast of characters they put in there. Rumor has it Dave Bautista is going to be in Suicide Squad at some point, so that's kind of a great thing. They had a great friendship there from Guardians of the Galaxy, and when James Gunn was fired, Dave Bautista was very outspoken and said, look, I want James Gunn to come back, and I will only come back and do this Guardians of the Galaxy 3 if James Gunn is going to be the director, and or basically it came down to a contract thing. So he has to do the movie. He doesn't have to enjoy doing the movie, but he has to do the movie. But I really think what he was trying to do was get himself fired because he was so upset with Bob Iger and Disney's decisions to get rid of James Gunn based on something that they wouldn't have even known about had it not been brought to their attention by James Gunn. So how's that for, being the hero of your own demise? So Will Smith out of Suicide Squad, the redux with James Gunn, but it doesn't matter. James Gunn is going to be able to pull together a band of people, just like he did for Guardians of the Galaxy, a bunch of people that and characters. You're probably not the most well-known, but you know what? He'll build a chemistry with them, and I have a lot of faith in James Gunn based on that, because quite honestly, while I am a comic reader, I enjoy comics, I was not familiar with the Star-Lord character, or Gamora, or Drax, or Groot, or any of those characters, or even Rocket. My goodness, speaking of Bradley Cooper, I was not familiar with any of those guys until I went to see the movie, and I go, wow, I really like these characters. And of course, now they had Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and they were also appeared in Endgame. Infinity Wars, and they'll also be back for Endgame, because at some point they're going to bring these guys back to life. There's far too much money out there invested in these characters to leave them dead. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Infinity War, Thanos gets all 6 stones and he decimates 50% of the population, leaving, what he think was going to be a paradise, because now everybody has lots of food to go around. But I don't think he actually thought it through, because of all the industrialization. I mean, half of the workers out there are not producing food, not producing transportation, not producing all these things that we take for granted. So, while he got rid of 50% of the population that were eaters, he also got 50% of the population that were producers. So, I mean, Thanos kind of made a mistake there, and I think it's, well, he'll live to die about it, I think. So, that being said, you'll see all the characters back in Endgame, which comes out April 26th. And as I've stated a couple times, April 26th is my mom's 39th birthday. I can't tell you what edition of that 39th birthday it is, but it's going to be her 39th birthday. That's all there really is to it. But anyhow, so James Gunn is going to be helming up Suicide Squad. Will Smith is out. We'll see what happens with the whole, Margot Robbie and what he brings together for the team. But let's see. Okay. The reason why Will Smith is out, of course, he said something about scheduling conflicts. But Will Smith is off right now. He's filming Bad Boys 3. And he's got Aladdin in the can. There's a lot of backlash because people don't like the blue genie. But here's my thoughts about that. In that trailer where Will Smith is the genie and he's blue, I think because of what he says is something, he says something about, none of this rings a bell to Aladdin. And I think because Aladdin was not really familiar with the whole genie character, well, I think what happens after that is I think Will Smith reverts back to his more normal self. He's not blue, he's not overly muscular, and I think that's probably how they're going to use him for the rest of the movie. That's just my instinct. That's what I think, because I've seen pictures of Will Smith on set, and there's far too much perfect lighting and makeup and everything like that on him to go ahead and just get rid of all that and make him a CGI character. If that was the case, they'd just put a mocap, a motion capture suit on him, and they would just do it that way. But I really feel like after the introduction of the genie, that he'll revert back to more of a normal Will Smith-looking character. So there you go, even with the knot on the top of the head and the whole deal. Okay, now next thing is Brie Larson on Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel comes out on March 8th, so tomorrow's March 1st, so a week or so from now. Okay, next Friday it drops, so probably Thursday night it'll be in the movie theaters. I don't know why they do that. They do like an early screening a lot of times. But if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, and they just made a change in that whole system, but Brie Larson said some things that totally alienated a certain demographic. I'm going to play the clip here in a second. But, when you're a big movie star, and you've got a publicist on your side telling you what and what not to say, they should listen. Brie Larson in this case should listen. And I'm going to let you be your own judge on what she said. Okay, so I'll play the clip. You guys make your own decision about that. My decision is firmly made. I think she opened her mouth and inserted her foot.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
Like Harrison Ford said about Shia LaBeouf when Shia LaBeouf was talking some crap about Indiana Jones in the Kingdom of Skulls, or whatever the heck that movie was, that one we don't talk about. Shia LaBeouf was not real happy with the outcome of the movie, but he's in an Indiana Jones movie. So Harrison Ford was like, hey, look, there is a time to sell cars. Meaning, you know what? You may not have the biggest faith in this movie, but now we've got to earn our money. So let's go out there and promote this movie the best way we can. Brie Larson should take that advice.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
Anyhow, Brie Larson, open mouth, insert foot, and so she got a hit on that. And so what happened was the scores for Rotten Tomatoes went down. Okay, and the amount of money that was projected for the opening weekend and the overall box office for Captain Marvel went down. Okay. Now, since then, they changed how things are on Rotten Tomatoes. You can't voice an opinion until after the movie comes out. So you can't go ahead and just sabotage the movie prior to its release, which is what a lot of times, this is what was happening. Haters are going to hate, right? Well, in this case, she said something about a certain demographic group, and like I said, it was not a way to endear more fans to your project.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
Now, my opinion is I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt in some ways. Maybe she just was having a bad day, and I'm going to go see Captain Marvel, but I'm not really seeing it for her. I'm seeing Captain Marvel because I know that she plays an integral part in Infinity War's Endgame. Okay? She was introduced at the end of Infinity Wars so much with, when Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury drops his pager and you see the logo for Captain Marvel there. And that's what kind of brought it in. That was the end credit. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they bring her into the Marvel Universe. Of course, it's back in the 90s when she makes her debut and they de-aged Samuel L. Jackson for the Captain Marvel movie. But I'm really more interested in how they're going to tie it into the Endgame. Again, comes out on April 26th. Okay. Now, Zachary Levi, the other Captain Marvel of the DC universe. Now everybody goes by Shazam. He came out on social media and he said, "Look, I think you guys got to stop, throwing Captain Marvel, Brie Larson under the bus. It's time to go ahead and we want to stop the haters from hating." Now, I think his message was twofold, and you might think that I'm wrong, but I think there's just a way to play this game. When you go out and you purposely promote another person's project, all that does for you is builds you an additional audience, because all the people that were on the fence with Captain Marvel, with Brie Larson, maybe based on what Zachary Levi says about her, will bring those people back around. Okay? Which means that more people are going to the movies to see comic book movies, which means that his movie is going to also increase in followership and viewership. It also makes him look like a really great guy, which endears more fans. So rather than selecting a certain demographic like Brie Larson did and alienating them, Zachary Levi is bringing everybody back into the fold with his movie. Now, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel comes out on March the 8th. Zachary Levi, Shazam, as we know him, is coming out April 5th. So, you got about a little less than a month for the transition from Captain Marvel to Captain Marvel Shazam. Okay, so one's a Marvel universe, one's a DC universe, and again, they're just calling him Shazam these days because I guess they don't want to have any conflict or confusion out there. Okay, anyhow, that's what, Brie Larson did her thing. Zachary Levi is doing his thing. I think the bigger man here in this situation is, of course, Zachary Levi, because we're all looking forward to that movie because it just looks like fun. It looks like Big as a superhero. If you remember Big with Tom Hanks, he's a little boy. He goes and he sees, I think it's Sultan. He puts it down. He wishes to be big. Well, what kid, what adult really doesn't wish to be a superhero from time to time? Well, in this case, in Captain Marvel, and Shazam, Billy Batson becomes Shazam. He's a superhero, an adult. And anyhow, so that's kind of a dream come true. So for a lot of people, so there you go. I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy that movie. I know I'm looking forward to seeing it. Here, moving right along, the trailer dropped for Dark Phoenix, the next, the next incarnation of Jean Grey. So that comes out on June 7th, and you see Jennifer Lawrence front and center. And I think what's going to happen is there's going to be the demise of Jennifer Lawrence, which actually, if you think about it, probably not a bad thing. You can tell that she's really kind of had it with the Marvel movies. I mean, so that if you take a look online, you can see the the Dark Phoenix trailer. That movie comes out on June the 7th. They're going to see a lot of similarities between that and X3. Plus, you got Quicksilver in there, and he always steals the show. So if you go back and you watch the other two movies, what was it? X-Men First Class. And then you see him also in X-Men Apocalypse. You see the Quicksilver character, who is actually the son of Magneto. In this incarnation, anyhow. You'll see him. He steals the show. Anyhow, so that's it for the news that came down the wire. Again, tomorrow is March the 1st. So if you get down to Arlington, come out and see us. There's going to be about 15 comics there at Summers. It's Courthouse Drive, as I recall. But again, just look online. You'll see it right there. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the weekend. And remember to roll your clocks forward on March the 10th. Yeah, daylight savings time starts on that day. So we get to get up a little earlier, but that means the days are longer, so we get lots more sunshine, so that's a good thing. I know I could use some sunshine after all this rain. Anyhow, guys, have a great day. My name's Chaz Riddle. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, and please share with all your friends. We want to build that subscribership up there. So have a great day. Bye-bye.